Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mariah, your Dairy State vegan, and today I'm going to show you how to make some super easy, delicious, very last minute Super Bowl snacks. So stay tuned. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make some really easy chopped cheeseburger sliders, and then we're also going to make a vegan queso dip. These are really easy things to throw together if last minute you decide you want to have a little Super Bowl get together, or if you're like me and you don't care that much about the teams in the Super Bowl this year, so you kind of forgot it was happening, but what you do care about is snacks. So we're going to start with the chopped cheeseburger sliders, and then we'll do the queso dip, and it's going to be delicious and fast. Alright, so what you're going to need for these chopped cheeseburger sliders, you're just going to need a little olive oil to heat up your pan. Then I'm using the Gardein beefless crumbles. You can use whatever beefless crumbles you like, or you could even use cooked lentils if you wanted. You are going to need pickle relish, ketchup, mustard, some onion, some cheese. I'm using the So Delicious Cheddar Jack shredded, and then salt, pepper, garlic for seasoning. And then you're also going to need 12 dinner rolls, and I'm going to use some chow cheese too. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. But I'm going to get this pan heated up, chop up a little bit of onion, and then we're going to start assembling the insides of our cheeseburger sliders. While I'm doing that, I'm preheating the oven to 325, so that as soon as I have this done and them assembled, I can pop them in the oven and get working on the queso dip. Okay, so to our heated pan, I'm going to add half a cup of chopped white onion. We're going to saute this down until it gets translucent, and then we're going to add our Gardein beefless grounds and our So Delicious shreds. Okay, so once our onions start getting a little translucent, I'm going to add our beefless crumbles to the pan. This should remind you of the For Your Vegan days, or now that they have the Impossible Burger, like the White Castle sliders. Yeah, not healthy, delicious football food. Okay, so I'm also going to add a healthy handful of the So Delicious shredded cheese. My oven's preheated. I'm going to add this into here so it can melt in the pan for when we scoop it onto our slider rolls. So you're going to add about a half a cup. You don't need to add more because I'm adding a little cheese to the top as well. This is just going to make the whole texture a little bit juicier and gooier. And we're also going to add, to taste, just some garlic, salt, and pepper. That's what I typically use to season burgers. If you use different seasonings, go ahead and use whatever you're used to. This is just my preference. Now, obviously, when I'm filming this, it is not Super Bowl Sunday, so my family is going to indulge in these treats while having a family game night, which is another really awesome excuse to make these foods. So you're just going to cook this until your beefless grounds get a little bit browned and your cheese starts melting a little, and then we'll go on to our next step. Okay, so once this is cooked up, I'm just going to add a few more ingredients. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of relish. And we're going to get real technical here. A good glob of yellow mustard. We really want this to kind of moisten everything and hold it together when we put it on the slider rolls. And also a good glob of ketchup. And I'll get you closer so you can see about how much of each. All right, we're going to turn the heat off. Mix it all together. And then that's all it takes before you start assembling your sliders. So you'll see you want your consistency to be kind of like a dry, sloppy dough. All right, so I have sliced my rolls. I've chosen to use whole wheat, but you can use whatever you want. I've placed them in a greased 9x13 pan, and now we're just gonna take our mixture and put it on our buns. I'm gonna use this cookie scoop. You can use whatever you want. I just find that it'll help it be more uniform. And then I'll press it down with the top bun once I have everything on here and assembled. All right, so each of our sliders have a decent amount of filling on them. Now I'm just gonna I cut my chow cheese squares into fourths. I'm just gonna top each slider with a slice of the chow cheese. The chow creamy white melts so nicely that it just makes a really delicious texture for your sliders. You could also do this, you could omit the ketchup and mustard, and you could add green peppers and some mushrooms and make them like Philly steak sliders. All right, so I'm just gonna top these with the top buns. We're gonna pop them in the oven at 325 for about 15 minutes. And then if you wanted, when they're all done, you could brush the tops with some melted vegan butter and a little bit of sesame seeds or everything but the bagel seasoning. It's up to you. We really just want our cheese to melt, the buns to get a little crispy, and the filling to get nice and piping hot. Okay, so for this queso dip, what you're gonna need is some chili peppers. I'm using jalapenos. You can use milder ones or spicier ones if you want. Some white onion. You're gonna want some minced garlic. And then for the cheeses, I'm gonna use the chow tomato cayenne and our So Delicious shreds that I used on our sliders. Salt, pepper, garlic, and cumin for seasoning. Olive oil, and then some vegan butter and flour to make a roux. So I'm gonna get these jalapenos and this onion chopped. I'm just gonna throw them in my food processor real quick, and then we'll come back and start making our queso. All right, so I have our onion and jalapenos chopped. I have some olive oil heating in this pan. I'm just gonna dump it all in. You do not need to use a food processor to do this, but in the name of my 10-year-old thinks he's starving, I wanted to make sure everything was done quickly. And for a queso dip, it's kind of nice to have the very, very fine chop you can only get with food processor. Now, I did not take the seeds out of my jalapenos. If you like it a little more mild, just take them out. So we're gonna saute these down, get them good and sweaty, and then we'll add the rest. It's gonna be really fast and your friends will be super impressed. Now you really wanna make sure you're cooking these down quite a bit, because once we start making the roux and assembling, it's not gonna cook that much longer, and you don't want raw onion or jalapeno in your queso. While this is cooking down, one more ingredient I forgot to tell you you're gonna need unsweetened almond milk, because we are going to be making a roux. All right, now that our onions are completely translucent and everything is cooking down and getting smelly, we can start building the roux. If you don't know what a roux is, it's literally just a fat, like vegan butter or oil, and flour that we're then gonna mix some milk into to make it more like a bechamel base. This is used in a lot of soups and gravies. So we're melting in about 3 tablespoons of vegan butter. And I'm gonna add to that about 2 tablespoons of flour, maybe 3. The big thing here is you can always add more, you cannot take it away. Now we're gonna whisk this. And before we add anything else, we just wanna let the roux cook. That way our dip doesn't taste like raw flour. So whisk it around so it doesn't burn. And give it about 4 to 5 minutes so the raw flour flavor cooks out. Okay, so once we've cooked the raw flour flavor out, we're gonna add our almond milk. I'm gonna add approximately 2 cups. We can add more if we need to, but this is just where we're gonna start. And then to this layer, this is where I'm gonna do my seasoning. I forgot to put my minced garlic in with my onions and peppers, so we're just gonna skip that. But we have our garlic powder. We're gonna add about 2 teaspoons. Cumin. Cumin is a strong flavor, so take it easy. We're gonna add about half a teaspoon. And this is starting to get pretty thick. So I'm gonna add about another cup of almond milk. And I'm gonna turn our heat down. Now we're gonna shake in some black pepper. About 2 teaspoons. And about a tablespoon of salt. Now we're gonna cook this sauce down. We want it to get to the consistency of a bechamel, which is like that creamy white sauce. It's a little bit thicker than a gravy. And then as we're whisking, and this is stirring, I'm gonna add in our So Delicious cheddar jack shreds so we can get them melting. This is about half a cup. And you just wanna make sure you're really whisking to get everything incorporated. And then I've also chopped up 4 slices of the tomato cayenne chow cheese. This is gonna give your sauce a really yummy texture. So we're gonna slowly whisk this in. We wanna get all our cheeses to melt together. Once we have the cheeses melted, it's okay to go ahead and give it a taste. Now there's a lot of things you can do to add flavor. You can either add more seasonings, you could add some fresh salsa to this if you wanted. Even a can of Rotel would make a big difference. This video is all about giving you your base. So I'm gonna finish whisking in the cheeses, and I will come back and show you the finished products when we're done. And there you have it, a thick, cheesy queso dip that even your non-vegan friends will love. And a pan full of chopped cheeseburger sliders. I'm gonna top all of mine with these little pickles because they'll be so cute on the tray. I promise you this will be a hit with your vegan and omnivore friends alike. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below with what you're doing for the Super Bowl. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my delicious recipes, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks, bye.